Hi everyone, it's Kit here from the Kit Does Yoga YouTube page. This class is going to be a 15-minute Vinyasa flow. Now Vinyasa just means connecting movement to breath, so I'll be calling inhales and exhales. Feel free to follow them or just use it as a reminder to keep breathing. Today's practice is going to hit all parts of the body, but it's specifically going to focus on the shoulders to give us a nice shoulder stretch and really relax them from the day. This class was also broadcasted live on my Facebook page, so if you're interested in doing some live classes, please follow me on Facebook as Kit Does Yoga as well, and Instagram as Kit Does Yoga for other live classes coming up. So let's get started. So like I mentioned, go ahead and find a comfortable seat. You can sit on the ground. If you want to grab a pillow, grab a blanket, or grab something else to sit up a little higher on. Maybe close the eyes. We won't be doing a ton, so if you want, you can close your eyes and just use the sound of my voice. And then from here, start to notice your breathing, taking deep inhales and exhaling it out. Breathing here for a few breaths. Oops, my bathroom's open. Taking a few breaths here just to arrive. Well, I know a lot of you are probably still in your house. You might have just logged off of work. You might be coming from something else, so it's nice to just take these few moments to get into that yoga mindset. So everything else that you were just thinking about, you can go ahead and kind of relax, let it fade away. Take this time for the transition. So instead of just jumping in and expecting yourself to be totally calm, take this time to just transition slowly into yoga time for yourself. And then maybe do a quick body scan, starting at the top of your head, and then going down through your body, just checking in. Notice if anything's tense. Notice your shoulders, if they're a little tense from, working all day or being a little bit worried. Maybe your neck, and see if you can relax those a little more. Maybe your feet are a little bit tense. See if you can relax them. And if you haven't already, really start to deepen your breath, taking deep inhales, fill up the lungs, and exhale, squeeze your air out. We'll do 2 more breaths together. Breathe in, breathe deep. Exhale, release your air slowly. Take 1 more big breath in. And then exhale it all out. Go ahead and rest your hands back. Take another inhale. And then exhale, relax your chin down to your chest. Inhale your right ear up to your right shoulder. Exhale back behind you. Drop your head back. Inhale left ear, left shoulder. And exhale back down, chin to chest. Now do 2 more rounds in this direction. So moving your head clockwise, I think, from this angle. Moving with your breath. Taking time at each point. Not rushing and just throwing your head around. So it's not like gym class. You're not, just throwing your head around. Instead, we're moving with our breath. And then when you're done, we'll meet back down, chin to chest. And then go ahead and go the other way. So inhale your left ear to your left shoulder. Exhale back behind you. Inhale right ear, right shoulder. And exhale back down, chin to chest. And then we'll do 3 total rounds in this direction as well. Inhaling your left ear to your left shoulder. And then continuing around. Notice how this might feel different than when we were going the opposite way. Just noticing those differences, maybe just using different muscles and seeing how they're activated or relaxed or stretched out when we go in a different direction. And then same thing, we'll meet back down chin to chest. On your next inhale, look up, reach up, and then exhale over to your right. So I'll probably be opposite on the video. If you do the wrong side, totally fine. Bring your right hand down to the mat, and with your left arm, reach up and out, stretching the left side of your body. So reach up and out, and as you breathe in, breathe into your left side ribs. Inhale, back up through center, reach up, and then rainbow your arms over to the other side. So if you're following me, it's going to be the left arm down to the mat and right arm reaching up and out. Like I mentioned, if you did the other side, just go on to the other side, evening it out. But focusing on really reaching up. It's not how far down you get, but really the stretch you feel on your right side body. On your next inhale, come back through center, reach up, and then exhale, twist to your right. So I'm sending my chest over to the right. My right hand's coming behind me, and then my left hand is coming to my right knee. And you take this twist as deep as you want. So you can be a little bit more towards the front, or twist even further. Maybe even look behind you, peek behind you. But still focus on sitting up straight with a nice tall spine. Stay for one more breath here. Exhale, let it go. And then inhale back through center. Don't forget to reach up again, lengthen the spine. And exhale, twist to your left. So left hand's coming behind me, right hand is going to my left knee. Or again, if you did the other side, feel free to just switch it out, go to the other side that you didn't do last time. On your inhale, grow tall, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, maybe you twist a little bit deeper. Maybe you start to feel it in your shoulders here. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, find child's pose. So go ahead, remove a block or a blanket, anything underneath you, or a giant cushion like I have. If you have a blanket and you want to keep it under your knees too, that's another option. So go ahead, find child's pose. Option to take a wide leg child's pose here. That might feel good to start getting into your hips. So taking your knees about as wide as the mat, my toes are together behind me, and I'm sinking my hips back as far as they want to go. And then I had a friend who doesn't do a lot of yoga describe this as just face planting into the mat. So face plant into the mat, but slowly. Go ahead and relax your chest down. Always an option to bring your head down to the mat or stack your forearms and bring your head to that. So just breathing here in this child's pose. Go ahead and relax. Taking a few breaths here to sink into this child's pose. And then from child's pose, go ahead, send your left arm long, and then take your right hand and thread it underneath your left armpit. So I'm just sliding my left hand underneath, sliding my right hand underneath my left arm, and then thread the needle here. So come to rest down on your right shoulder or your right bicep, and then lift up your left arm. Maybe reach it forward. This might feel good. Or if you want, you can take your left arm and wrap it behind your low back. So that's an option here as well. So starting to stretch out through the shoulders here. Reach your right hand all the way out to the side, and then reach your left hand forward or open up through the left shoulder if you have your left hand wrapped. I like coming in from child's pose here. It gives you a really nice stretch. Stay for one more breath. And then inhale, start to unwind from this, come back to child's pose. And then I know I'm going to face away from the camera, but I'm going to show it to you from behind if that helps a little bit. But you're going to take now your left hand and thread it underneath your right armpit. So coming to rest on my left arm. Sorry, I'm shouting a little bit so you can hear me. And then again, right arm can go forward. Maybe you come up onto your fingertips, or maybe you wrap your right arm behind your low back on this side. So you can see I'm resting on my left shoulder, my left bicep, and then this left side of my face is coming to the mat as well, so that might feel really good. But focus here on opening up through the chest again, using your right shoulder to open up as your left hand reaches forward, or sorry, to the side. Left hand reaches to the side. Go ahead and take one more breath here. And then start to unwind from this side. And then we're going to find a tabletop pose next. So go ahead, come onto all fours, lifting up, walk your knees back underneath your hips. Take your hands wide, your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And then we're going to start some cat-cows here. So on your next inhale, drop your belly, look forward, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, cat pose. Inhale back into cow. And exhale into cat. Now continue these at your breathing, your breath pace, taking the inhales and exhales at your pace. Not necessarily my pace, but go ahead. No one can see you unless you're practicing with someone else. And take this at your pace. Option as well if you want to bend side to side. I like to exhale, bend to the side. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale to the other side. And then come back through center. Go ahead and take one more round here. Even yourself out if you need to. And then we'll meet back in tabletop. From here, tuck your toes and send your hips back for downward facing dog. So I'm lifting my kneecaps and pressing my hips back towards the back of the room behind me. And then it's our first downward facing dog. So maybe you pedal your heels out here, pressing one heel to the mat, bending the opposite knee, and then reversing it out. Breathing here, stretching out through the back of the legs. And you don't have to be one straight line here. So think about taking a bend in your knees so that you can send your hips up even more. Go ahead and take one more breath here. And then walk your feet forward to the front of the mat and find a forward fold. And then take your feet wide, about as wide as the mat, and we'll hang here in ragdoll. Bend your knees and let your upper body hang loose. Maybe you sway back and forth. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. But see if you can let your upper body hang loose. I'm going to go ahead and turn towards the camera, see if you can see this a little bit better. But you can see my ponytails just falling towards the ground. Gravity's taking it. This is a nice way to open up the shoulders as well because you're really relaxing them. Let gravity take them. You can really notice if you're holding on with your shoulders here, hunching them, and see if you can relax them. Go ahead and take one more breath here. And then stop swaying, come back to center. Walk your feet back into hips width distance, and on your next inhale, slowly rise up to standing. Reach up tall, high mountain pose, and exhale, hands at your sides, mountain pose. Go ahead, settle in here. Feel nice and strong. Go ahead, Send your feet somewhere that they're nice and comfortable, probably right under your hips. Hands face forward and roll your shoulder blades back again. Try and stand up tall here. Maybe you feel like you're pressing your hips forward, especially if you've been sitting down all day. And then from here, we're going to start some half sun salutations. So on your next inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe you airplane your arms here, reaching them back towards the back of the room, the palms of your hands facing towards the mat, and your shoulder blades are pulling together here for some activation through the shoulders. And then we'll move at one breath per movement, but go ahead and take a breath in here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe you airplane your arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, fold. Last inhale, halfway lift, or last halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Now from here, find a plank pose. So send your hands back. Option to drop to your knees here, as long as you're keeping a strong core. I'd rather have you drop to your knees than do one of those like sinking planks or like do like a half plank, half down dog. But try and find where you can be really stable through your core. But take another breath in here and then lower down, knees, thighs, belly, chest, all the way to the mat. Now we're going to warm up our back bends here. So go ahead and put your forehead or cheek on the mat. Hands are back by your ribs. And on your next inhale, look forward and lift up, baby cobra. So just like those airplane arms, I'm pulling my shoulder blades together. I'm pulling my elbows together as I look forward. And then relax back down to the mat. Coming to a forehead or a cheek. On your next inhale, pull your shoulder blades together again. And this time, low cobra, or lift your chest up a little bit more for cobra. And my legs are still staying active here. I'm pressing my pelvis into the mat as I lift up through my shoulders. And then when you're ready, come back down. One last back bend here, so you can take your version of cobra or upward facing dog. So you're going to press your hands into the mat, straighten your elbows. It's really important to lift your thighs up off the mat. Squeeze your glutes for some support. And then exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog from wherever you are. Drop your knees to the mat or lift your hips straight back into down dog. Breathe here. So our next 2 rounds, I'm going to say go ahead and pick your back bend. So go ahead and you can choose any of those, low cobra, cobra, or upward facing dog. On your next inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale, choose your back bend, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Last time, inhale forward. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. So we're going to put all that together and add in just a few more moves for like a sun bee. It's kind of like a half sun bee. Start by taking a breath in and letting it go. Inhale, fill up. And then exhale, walk your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach up tall. Exhale, fold right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, find plank pose. So coming back to plank, take a breath in and then lower down to the mat. Exhale. Inhale, choose your back bend. And then exhale, find downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Nice job throwing it all together. On your next inhale, take your right leg high, three-legged dog. And then bring your right foot forward towards the front of the mat, setting up for warrior one. Go ahead and wiggle it up there if you need to. Your left foot's gonna drop down somewhere between 45 and 90 degrees. And then go ahead and lift up your chest. Finding your warrior one here. Feel free to adjust once you get up there as well. Take your feet left to right, take them forward and back. But really pull your right hip back and your left hip forward. So that's what we're working on here. That's what our foot position is allowing us to do. Take a breath here in and out. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale, choose your back bend. And then find downward facing dog. Breathe here. On your next inhale, take your left leg high, three-legged dog. And then bring your left foot forward for warrior one on the other side. Again, go ahead and wiggling it around, finding the placement, dropping your right heel down, and then lifting up once you're stable in the feet. Breathing here, settling in, focusing on your left quad, getting a lot of strength through here. So a lot of your weight's being supported here by your left quad. And it should, as your left quad's really strong. It's a really big muscle there. Take another breath in and a breath out. One more inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, choose your back bend, and then find downward facing dog. Nice job. That'll be our sun salutations for this class. There we go. I got some birds outside I thought you might want to hear. And then from here, walk your feet forward, finding a forward fold at the top of your mat again. And then take a wide leg take a ragdoll again. Take your feet wide like we did at the beginning of class, bend your knees. And then this time if you want to mix it up, you can take a bind here. So I'm just bringing my hands together behind my low back and then pressing them up, or maybe they're falling forward if your shoulders are really flexible. And if you got something nearby that you want to grab onto, like a blanket, a dish towel works great here. You can always do that as well. Take one more breath. And then exhale, release your hands. On your next inhale, go ahead and rise up, reach up, high mountain pose. Exhale, mountain pose. Walk your feet back into hips width distance. So we're actually gonna come back into a crescent lunge. So if you need to move towards the top of your mat, you can do that as well. But send your weight into your right foot. Maybe come onto your left toes. Reach up with your arms and then send your left toes towards the back of the mat for a crescent lunge. There we go. So I'm on the ball of my left foot and my right foot is flat. Still a bend in my right knee, just like warrior one, but instead of our foot being down like warrior one, your left heel is lifted. And then we're going to continue to work on the shoulders here a little bit. So take a breath in and then exhale, bring your hands behind your low back. Now if you want, you can lace your fingers together like I did for that ragdoll we just did, or you can grab opposite elbows. So let me show you from the back here. So I'm grabbing opposite elbows here. My forearms are on top of each other. Oops. Or I'm lacing my fingers together. The last option, like I mentioned before, is if you want to grab something, like I just have this necklace lying around, you can grab something as well in both hands. But I'm going to go ahead and take the option where I lace my fingers together. That's my favorite one to do. And then start to pull your shoulder blades together. Puff your chest forward. Maybe you look up for Proud Warrior. A little bit of a bend in the back here. Inhale, fill the chest. And then exhale, bend at the hips. Humble your warrior. Bring your chest forward. And start to bend forward. Maybe if you feel comfortable, you let the, oops, if you don't fall over. It's all good. Coming back into a humble warrior. If you feel comfortable, let your neck hang loose. This is a problem. I'm usually pretty good, but looking at the camera adds a little bit of a balance challenge. Take a breath in here and let it go. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release your hands. And on your next inhale, come back up to Crescent Lunge. And open up to Warrior Two. So your hips are going to spin towards the left side of your mat, left side of the room. Breathing here. Hands are forward and back. Reaching out through your fingertips and reaching back through your fingertips with equal energy. Focusing on the weight in your right quad again, so still using those big muscles. And if you want, your gaze can be forward over your fingers or just wherever the video is. I'm not super picky about that. Take a breath in and let it go. Inhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Relax them down. Shoulders are nice and warm. Take one more breath in. Stay for the exhale. And then reverse your warrior. Reach up and back behind you. And then exhale, come back to Warrior Two. From here, you're going to straighten your right knee, reach up with both arms, and then spin all your toes towards the same side of the mat. For me, it's my left side of my mat. So this is kind of like a star pose. And then from here, we're going to find a wide leg forward fold. So you're going to start to bend at the hips and bring your hands all the way down to the mat. And then if you want to go deeper here, you can start to walk your fingertips back between your feet and over to the other side of your mat. Getting into our hips a little bit more here. Maybe you can get into your shoulders a little bit if you relax your head back down. And breathing here. On your next inhale, walk your hands back between your feet, coming up, lifting up halfway. Stay for the exhale. And then on your next inhale, bend your knees and come all the way back up. Reach up tall. And now this is a little fancy here, but you're going to actually take your left toes and spin them towards the back of your mat. So sorry if you put your laptop in front of your mat. You can always move it to the side or take a peek back behind you at what I'm doing, but I'm coming into a Warrior Two with my left leg bent. So if you did the other side, running theme here, go ahead and do the opposite side you did last time. So I did my right side last time, so I'm bending my left knee and finding a Warrior Two on the left side. Again, reaching up and out through my arms. Or if I want, I can bring my hands to my hips and think about my elbows reaching up and out to the sides. Focusing on a nice tall spine and that equal energy forward and back from my elbows or my fingertips. Take a breath in here and let it go. Inhale, shrug your shoulders again and release them down. Stay for one more breath in. Let it go. And then reverse your warrior. Reach up and back behind you. And then come back to warrior two. And if you haven't figured it out, we're actually going to reverse our sequence from last time. So you're going to take your back hand, for me it's my right arm, and then I'm actually going to come into a crescent lunge. So I'm going to come up onto my right toes, the ball of my right foot, my right arm's coming forward, and then I'm in a crescent lunge with my left leg forward. So start to pull your right heel up and forward, finding a crescent lunge on this side. Breathing here. Feeling strong. Go ahead and adjust yourself if needed. If your foot stance is a little bit different than warrior two, you can always fix that. Change it up. And then when you're ready, go ahead and find the bind on this side. So again, options to grab opposite elbows, lace your hands together, or grab an object. This time I'm going to do the version with my elbows together, or grabbing opposite elbows so that you can see that. But again, finding proud warrior first. Puff your chest up. This time I'm pressing my forearms down towards the mat. Really feeling proud here. You know, like that picture of someone, you know, walking around super proud, their chest is puffed out. That's what we are right now. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, humble your warrior, bring your chest down. So we're humbling now. It's like you're bowing at the feet of someone you're very humbled towards. And breathe here. Really press in through your left foot. Still getting balance out of your right foot. I'm pressing in through the ball of my left foot. And if it feels okay, you can relax your neck. The challenge here is not to rest on your left quad. If you get down low enough, you can actually come to the inside of your leg. Or just lift up slightly. Use your core muscles instead of relaxing down onto your left quad. Take one more breath here in. Exhale, release your hands. And then lift back up to a crescent lunge. Stay for the exhale. And then on the inhale, slowly bring your right foot back to the top of the mat. Woo. Nice job. Shake it out here. We're going to do some balance poses. So, staying up, standing. Just realized in the live stream my head's cut off, but that's okay. Maybe, there you go. Now you can see my face. But we're going to do tree pose here. So just root into your right foot, coming up onto your left toes. Or if you want, coming into full tree pose, bringing the sole of your left foot onto your right leg. Your ankle, your calf, maybe higher up. And then go ahead and bring your hands to heart center or wherever your branches want to go. They can reach up and out. If you really like doing those binds, you can always take that here as well. So you can take your hands, clasp them behind your back, get some extra chest stretching here. It's a little bit more of a challenge too. You don't have that like wide balance like you do with your arms out. Take one more breath here. And then go ahead, drop your left foot down, shake it out. And then start to root into your left side. So balancing on your left leg, kickstand your right, and then option to bring the sole of your right foot onto your leg here for tree pose on the other side. Go ahead and build your tree pose on this side, finding your version. And I sometimes like to mention you're at home, so no one can see. If you grab for some furniture, a wall, a window, that's always a nice little help here that you have at home. Feel free to move around your space to find a wall as well if that would help you feel a little bit more confident in this tree pose. Go ahead and take one more breath. And then exhale, release from this side, shake it out. Nice job. And then we're going to meet on our back for a few more poses, so just go ahead and roll down onto your back. So pull pull your knees into your chest, take some knee circles here, and then circle them the other way. And then when you're ready, we're going to set up for bridge pose. So bringing your feet down onto the mat, bringing your hands forward so you can kind of tickle your heels. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, lift your hips up into bridge pose. So I'm lifting my hips up, pressing my feet and my hands into the mat. Maybe I get high enough I can roll my shoulders underneath and then clasp my hands together again. They're nice and warmed up now, or my shoulders are nice and warmed up now. On your inhales, think about pressing your hips even higher. And on your exhale, squeeze your glutes together. Breathing here. Remembering to use your glutes, use your core to lift you up higher and higher. Or just have that feeling of that energy going up and up into the ceiling. Now from here, stay for 2 more breaths using your own pace, not rushing. Take 1 more breath in, and then release your hands and roll back down to the mat. And then maybe here, rock your knees side to side. And then when you're ready, bring your knees back through center because we have 1 more bridge pose. So go ahead, set up for bridge again, pulling your heels in, tickling them. And then use the option here for bridge pose again, lifting your hips all the way up into the air. Or if you want to take baby bridge, just lift your hips up a few inches. So as you can see, my hips are just a few inches up off the mat. And then I'm actually going to tilt my tailbone towards the ceiling. So if my tailbone is neutral, it's just kind of pointing towards the wall behind me. But if I tilt it up, it'll start to point up higher on the wall or towards the ceiling. So bridge, full bridge, or baby bridge. Breathing here, just getting in this nice back bend, nice release from all those forward folds. Again, we'll stay for 2 more breaths at your own pace here. And then on your second exhale, slowly roll back down to the mat. And if it felt good last time, windshield wiper your legs again, side to side. And then from here, pull your knees into your chest again. This time we're going to rock forward and back. So rocking from my shoulders to my hips, back and forth, loosening up the low back a little bit. I really like this for any low back pain. And then eventually we're going to rock all the way up to seated. I'm actually going to spin around here. And then send your legs out long. And then from here, pull your right knee into your chest, find a nice tall spine, and then drop your right knee out to the side. You can pull your foot in closer, bringing it into your thigh, the inside of your thigh. And we're just gonna take a hamstring, stretch here. So go ahead and lift up, reach up, and then exhale, fold at the hips. Bringing your hands down onto the mat, not focusing on where they land, instead just focusing on how this feels through your hamstring, through your glutes. Option if you want on your inhales to straighten your spine, and then exhale, walk your fingertips a few baby steps forward. Keeping a mind's eye to your low back, see if you're rounding or if you can keep straight or keep it straight. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, teeny steps forward. Stay for 1 more breath. And then on your inhale, go ahead and come back up to a tall spine. Now this next pose is a kind of a funky transition. We're going to come into Stargazer Pose to open up the hips a little bit more. But what you want to do, make sure your entire shin is on the mat here, just because it's nice and soft. We're going to be coming onto our knees a little bit. And you also have the option to stay here as well if you like this and just lengthen your spine. Or you're going to actually send your chest to your right, so towards your bent knee. Your right hand's going to go behind you. And then I'm going to actually bend my left knee a little bit so it comes onto the mat. And then I'm going to take my left arm, reach up and press my hips up as well, coming on to my right shin. And maybe I make it all the way up into Stargazer Pose. So I'm on my right shin. It's actually, my right foot is coming behind me. My left foot is pressing down on the mat. It's a little bit on my right hand. And I'm reaching up with my left arm, Stargazer Pose. Option, if you want, is to actually send your left arm back behind you. Like here's a big rainbow from your left foot all the way to your left arm. Take one more breath and then come back down. From here, go ahead, reset yourself and then send your right leg long and shake it out a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead, swing around to the other side so you can see the other side here. But from here, you're going to pull your left knee in and then let it drop out to the left now. Setting up for first our hamstring stretch. Start by reaching up and spin your chest so it goes down your right leg here. So my chest is going right down towards my leg. It's not off to the side, which it might want to because your left leg is out, but just taking a moment to center it towards your left foot. Again, reach up. And then exhale, hinge at the hips and bring your hands down to the mat. Same thing here if I want to take these little waves. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, walk my fingertips forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, teeny steps towards the end. Finding your edge here. So focusing on those teeny walks with your fingertips, not, I have to reach my toes, or I reach my toes, okay, I'm good, I don't need to go any further, but just testing yourself, seeing how much further you can walk your fingertips forward. Stay here for one more breath. And then on your next inhale, come back up to seated, and we're going to set up for Stargazer Pose here as well. So again, I'm going to make sure that if my knee goes down, it'll go onto the mat as well. And then my left hand's going to come back. Right arm's going to reach up. And I'm going to shift my weight onto my left shin and my right heel, and then reach up and back. Stargazer Pose, sending my hips up and forward. So as I'm breathing here, I'm lengthening through the right side body, pressing down through my right foot, reaching out through my right arm. Again, my weight is on my left shin, my left hand, and a tiny bit in my right foot. Take one more breath here, and then exhale, come back down. And then go ahead, send your left leg long again, and shake it out. Now for our hip opener today, since we're already seated, I thought we'd do rock the baby pose. I like to do this in my classes a lot. It's a little bit different than pigeon pose. And plus we're already seated, we move the hips a little bit. So what I'm going to do is pull my right leg in again. But this time I'm actually going to take my left hand and grab my right foot. My right hand is on my right knee, and then I'm just going to hold my shin and rock it back and forth. So this is your own movements. You can go with your breath. You can take small movements back and forth. Maybe circle your right leg and circle it the other way. If you want to go deeper in this pose, what you're going to do is you're actually going to take your right foot deeper into your left arm. So I can take my right foot all the way into my elbow, and my right knee also into my elbow. Option to do half and half as well. So maybe your right foot's in your left elbow and you grab your right knee, and then you continue these rocks. Or if you have both elbows, you can always clasp your fingers together. It's a little bit closer, it's a little bit deeper stretch because it forces our knee up a little bit closer to us. And it's just a nice way to bring some movement. Maybe I take some full body circles. You might notice too, getting like a little glute massage on the bottom as your hip bones kind of press into those muscles. I'm keeping my left leg long. You do have the option to bring it in as well if that works for you, if you don't like having your leg out, but I like it out for a little bit of a counterweight. And then when you're done with this side, go ahead and release. Send your right leg long. And then pull your left knee in. And same thing, you can take your right hand and grab your left foot, or start to bring it all the way into your right elbow. So my left foot's in my right elbow. And then either grab your left knee with your left hand or put your left knee inside your left elbow. That was a lot of lefts and rights, so I hope I got it right. If it feels weird, it's probably off. If it feels uncomfortable, it's probably a good stretch. But yeah, it'd be like really hard to do the opposite way. So I hope this makes sense. And again, taking some different movements, back and forth, side to side, take some circles. Again, do what your body wants to do. You can take bigger movements if you like that, or smaller movements if that feels good as well. I really like just rocking side to side. So now you can see why this pose is called Rock the Baby, because your shin is your baby and you're rocking it back and forth in different directions. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and send your left leg long. And then for our final pose, we're just going to take legs up the wall. So go ahead, roll back down onto your back and send your feet up into the air for legs up the wall. Option to put a blanket, a pillow, your hands under your low back. And just find the point where your legs give the least amount of effort. You have the option, if it's in your practice too, to turn this into shoulder stand or plow, but we're just going to get one little inversion for our last pose. The last option is if there's anything else your body's craving, you can go ahead and take that here as well. So any other pose that you like, now's your chance to go ahead and add that to your practice. A little bit of playtime. Otherwise, just hang out here and legs up the wall for these last few breaths. You have the option as well if you want to go find your wall again and do legs up the wall on the wall. Or even furniture, you can do this against your bed, really anything. We're not picky. And then when you're ready, go ahead and stay in legs up the wall if you'd like, or make your way into Shavasana. So Shavasana, you can just relax your entire body down onto the mat. Send your legs long, send your arms out to the side. If you got that blanket, maybe you wrap it around you. But we're going to go ahead and take a little non-traditional Shavasana here. I'll let you do it on your own time. Feel free to put on some music you like, or just go ahead, set your phone timer for a few minutes, a little tiny nap. But I just wanted to take this moment to thank you all for joining me for this class. I hope your shoulders are a little bit more relaxed. I hope it helped you kind of disconnect from work, and I hope it gave you a little bit of peace for the end of the day today, or whenever you're watching this and practicing. So I like to end all my classes with a moment of gratitude. So in your Shavasana, maybe bring to your mind something you can be grateful for. And then we'll end with a namaste. So namaste means light in me sees and honors that same divine light that exists in each and every one of you. As we end this practice, I invite you to bow, and together we say namaste. So one last time, thank you all for joining me. I have more videos on YouTube if you want to practice with me further. And I hope you have a nice relaxing rest of your day. Thanks for watching.